Welcome everybody to the largest education festival in the world, 37 days of live celebration, Student University Webinar Season 4, Get Connected. And today is day 31 of the celebration. So 6 more days to go and we are almost at the end of this particular grand event. It's wonderful journey. And today I've invited because today is an important day. I'm going to discuss about visas. And visas are very important for the success of study abroad. A lot of these students ignore it, and a lot of these students come to me crying. I tell you, basically, there are many students who cry. If you want, you go to the consulate and stand outside, and you will see how many students come out crying. And it's really pity because some of them are not informed or they don't know about the entire process. So in that sense, today's session is very important. So before we start, thank you, Mustafa, for telling me that the slides, you can see my slides about Education Abroad Counseling Center, EACC. EACC started in Feb 2000. Our vision is to educate the youth by providing them with study abroad career options worldwide. Our mission is to help 10 lakh high school and graduate students achieve career growth using pre-application technology. We have counseled more than 13,500 students with the internet, with this particular reach. Probably we are looking at much more coverage in 1 year now. The USP of Education Abroad Counseling Center is that we are one of those few study abroad counseling centers in the world who could do counseling for all countries, all levels, starting from 7th grade to doctorate, all major programs. We provide guaranteed admissions or we give your total counseling free refund because most of the research is based on pre-application based. Having said that, today is visa preparation day. I will not waste a lot of the time. So let's understand the visa process. So today I'm going to cover potential immigrant. So what is potential immigrant? A potential immigrant is a case which the visa officer feels that one who will go into that country and will not come back. Probably he goes on a student visa and he doesn't even complete his education. He basically goes and do something else. So all those students, all those basically in any other category, whether it is business visa or tourist visa, I'm just focusing on students because this is about student visa. So all these cases are treated as potential immigrants, that they doubt that you will not come back or you are not a genuine student. So that means that you are a potential immigrant. Now, reasons for student visa denial. So today, this will be a 3-session talk of visa preparation. SOP was a 3-session talk. The managing finance was a 3-session talk, and visa preparations are 3-session talk. These are very important. Okay, part. So I have given enough importance to this. In case you have missed any of these sessions, you can go to YouTube EACC-Education Abroad Counseling Center and look at these videos. They will probably help you, guide you. Reason I'm making these videos is because a lot of the basically students are not aware. Lot of the study abroad counselors are not aware. Lot of the study abroad counselors don't provide visa counseling. They, according to the visa counseling, is just basically filling up the visa application form. It is not that. It's much more. It's a big process. And considering that, basically this video and all other videos could help them and help the students to choose the right directions. Now, these reasons for student visa denials are important because this will give you an idea of what not to do. At the same time, you will get an idea of what to do. So let's understand the reason. Now, there are basically, since I am doing all countries, all universities, all levels, I have not categorized them on country basis. Maybe later on I'll come video on per country basis on each countries. But right now it is more general, but applicable to almost like 80-85% of the countries. There should not be any problem. In fact, 90% of the countries. So temporary refusal. What is temporary refusal? Temporary refusal could be two types. One, basically, you have submitted your documents for visa, you have or you have given your interview for visa. The visa officer still has a doubt, probably based on your program or basically based on what information you have provided, and he wants to recheck. So he basically tells that basically your visa is on hold. So that is one temporary hold where he will recheck the information. If the information is true, then he will give you visa, or he may call you for an interview. Okay, there could be a second interview, let's say for US, or in terms of Canada, UK, or any other countries, there could be an interview. where they will call you and clarify that those things. So those could be basically temporary, basically hold on. The second could be basically when you are refused, but you have a right to basically apply again. They feel, if you feel that basically visa officer was not right in evaluating your visa case, so you can apply again. Now, what are serious refusals? Serious refusals are, suppose you write wrong information to misguide the visa officer in the visa application form. Those are serious refusals. The visa officer can go up to an extent of banning you. So, if it is banned, then it will affect your chances on all other countries that you are going to apply. It will do affect the ban, because the visa application of other countries will also ask this particular information. So these are serious refusals. Or if you provide fake documents and they come to know, then it's a serious refusal. Or if you are basically part of some political organizations which are against the country, that country's policies, or basically any hardcore religious fanatic which is against. So that could be sometime basically could lead to a serious refusals. Now, the next is about the country of origin. Why I have mentioned country of origin? Where you are born and where you are studying at present and where you will be going do affect the chances. For example, if you are born in Germany and you are born in Canada, or you are born in Australia and you want to apply to US, you will probably have a high chance of getting visa success rate. But if the same thing, if you are born in Asian countries, then you have, or any developing or economically weaker countries, then your visa rejections are high. Why? One, because the data shows probably that some of the students go there, or so they don't study, they do other activities. So the visa officer is strict. That could be one. Or most of these students basically stay back, settle down, they don't go back. That is also second reason. But the first reason is more because there are a lot of illegal immigrants that are happening from these countries. So the visas are a little difficult. So from the country of nationality where you are born, from where you are applying, does affect your visa chances. Second is your ties. Okay. If your parents are in US and you want to apply to US, okay, and if your parents are green card holder, or if they are residents of US, then your visa chances are difficult, because you will be treated as a potential immigrant. Okay. Similarly, if you have your near and dear relatives, your brothers, sisters. When I'm saying near and dear relatives, it doesn't mean that your uncle, aunt, cousins, everybody may be having that. Your near and dear is your brothers, sisters, all those are near and dear relatives. If they are basically abroad and they are in the visa application form, you may have to mention. So there could be some chance. Or basically you are going with your family, entire family. You are going with your wife, your kid, and you are applying together. So the visa officer may feel there is no ties back in India, so he may be rejecting you as a potential visa. So ties are very important for factor. So when you are going to plan for your visa, you have to plan accordingly. You have to strategize accordingly. You have to think accordingly, so that your visa chances are more. Interview problems. A lot of people basically have interview problems. They find they don't practice much, so they don't have, when the visa questions are asked, they are caught basically, where they think, or they give a very standard answers. So if sometimes basically because they feel that the visa officer has not given enough time to explain. So sometimes insufficient times could be the reason in case there is an interview. Okay, some countries don't have interview, but in cases where there are interview, for example, USA gives you around 2 to 3 minutes for the interview. Some countries also give you 5 to 10 minutes for the interview. So there are different countries which give different times, but sometimes basically you'd find in countries like US, you find it is insufficient time. Or your inability to articulate. If they ask you why you want to join a particular university, you're not able to put your point clearly in a very short manner why you want to join. Because of the lack of preparation, because of lack of your clear thinking, you're not able to express yourself clearly. Or why particular country, why particular program, or what are your career plans? Those are few questions that I have mentioned. There are a lot many visa questions. Important is to make you understand that you need to be clear in your thoughts. You need to be clear in your expression. You need to be very confident what you are saying. So the visa officer is convinced that you are going for the right purpose. Disposition, your body language, poor body language. You're, sometimes you don't stand properly. You're not able to look at the visa officer. You are looking down. You're looking up. You are looking anywhere else. You are trying to remember your answer. You have poor dress code. Either you're very bright or flashy dress you are wearing. So these are some of the things that can also affect. Okay, so you should dress properly, you should have a proper body language which should show your confidence, maintain a proper contact, have a good voice modulation, so that these are also small things but it does influence your visa chances. Next is your age. Sometime basically when you're applying for a visa you're too old, okay, and you have that age factor sometime basically makes the visa officers think that at this age, are you going for studies abroad or are you still basically going to settle abroad? No, so you because normally the visa officer feels that you are not settled and that's why you're using study abroad as an option to go to that particular country. So age could be factor. If you're too old, let's say you're 40, you're above 40, 45. There are cases, I know basically I had a case who was a doctor who was above 40 years age, who was rejected few times and he came and then we did apply twice and he got his visa. Not on the first time, but on the second time he did got his visa. So it is basically age does play a role. Wrong program choice. This is very, very important. Very, very important. Suppose basically I am a science background and I apply for arts. I am basically engineering and I apply for music. Um, I am basically from pharmacy and I apply for engineering programs. Okay. Um, Now, visa officer may, if there is no line of continuity in what you want to do and what you have been doing, then basically he may reject you as a potential immigrant. Okay. What you can always do is once you go to that university, you can change your program. You have that flexibility. Most universities does do that. But if nobody is going to guide you well, and you basically use this option basically of going into this sometime and you don't have reason. Suppose I have work experience to justify, even if my qualification is something else, but I have work experience in the related program that I'm going, then I would be able to justify and I can get my visa. Or in case I'm going to submit my documentation, I can mention in my visa SOP and can get my visas. So there are chances, but if there is no link, if I can't basically, if the visa officer can't find any link, the visa officer is going to reject me as a potential immigrant. Then your previous visa denials, you had gone for a family wedding, let's say to US. So it automatically shows that you have a tie in US. So that could be one reasons, or you basically seeking visa by hook or crook. You have applied for a B1, B2 visa, you got rejected, then you come to apply for a student visa immediately. The visa officer says finds the desperation in you in that you want to get into US. Okay, I'm just putting US here because it becomes easy to explain from one country point of view, but this is applicable for any countries. So your seeking visa by hook or crook can also basically affect your chance of getting visa. Third, next is employment prospects. You should know the program that you are doing, what type of prospect is available back home. You should have some clear idea. If you are going for an interview, they will ask you. If you are going to write a SOP, you should mention this. So that the visa officer understand that this program that you are going is valuable back home and there is sufficient reason for you coming home. Some of them also basically take this study leave, whereby they go. I had at least 3-4 students at different times. These students basically had taken a study leave. So they had a letter from the company whereby the letter was saying that after they finish the program, they will recruit the person back. So if you have such types of letter, then your chances of visas are very good. So you should know about your employment prospects. If you don't know if there is about the employment prospects, then it leads to a visa denial. Change of status. You go on a visit visa and then you basically get admission and then you attend the school and then basically whenever you come back for your visa stamping, you will be refused because you misguided. You misguided the visa officer. You got the visa on a visit visa while your purpose was to study. So the visa officer will reject. You have to be genuine. If you want to basically go on a student visa, see that, and it can really affect because if you have come back and then basically it doesn't depend how long you have been studying, how much time you spent, how much money you have spent on that education, it doesn't matter. So there could be a huge risk in time, effort, and energy by doing that. So ideally, use the right method. People, guide all basically. You go up and down and this and that. There are basically advertisement who says no TOEFL, no IELTS, getting admission. But then you have to look at what are your chances of visa. If by any chance you feel that there is a visa risk, you should not do that. You should not do that because the risk is too much, basically. And once your visa refused, then to repent is of no use. To take enough precautions on my side, whenever I do my counseling for any of my students, I don't do any students counseling if the student is not ready to give TOEFL IELTS. Okay, he may say basically 10 times that this particular basically university gives IELTS waiver, this that is possible, this is advertising that basically without IELTS, without TOEFL it is done. I normally don't do that. I avoid it. So or a student miss a semester. Okay, student basically when the student miss a semester, it doesn't is not able to complete on time. Then he comes back and then he goes for the visa stamping again. He may be refused. So see that you follow the plan. What student do is they go and then they work, they take the break, they are not able to complete the semester on time. It's like penny wise pound foolish. You're spending more on your education and then you are earning less. Finish your education and then you will have ample opportunity. I know, sir, that there could be a financial constraint in something like that, but try to avoid as much as possible. Okay, unable to return to OPT or postgraduate post-study work permit. So you have come back and then basically, what you have done is during the OPT period, whenever you get a OPT, first find a job, get a job, and then you come back. So that you have a good reason to show to the visa officer that you have a job. If you if you come back, without getting the job offer letter, and then basically you go for a visa, there is a chance that you may get a visa refusal. So see that you plan accordingly. Don't try to basically be over smart, or don't try to basically do anything which can affect your chances for visa. Fake documents submitted. This is serious offense. If you submit fake documents and if you're caught, then you could be banned for that country. If somebody, your parents, your brother, your sister has filed for immigration, in which case when you're applying for student visa, they may know that basically somebody has applied for, so they may reject you as a potential immigrant because of the document that somebody has filed for immigration. Choice of program not in continuity, which I already mentioned. Basically, this is repetition. So your choice of program is not in continuity. Not completing admission requirements, which is IELTS or any other things, using the shortcut method. These methods sometimes basically, getting admission is not difficult, but this method sometimes basically affects your visa chances. So don't do it. Joining small unknown community colleges or unknown universities. So see that the university that you apply is an old university, is a reasonable basically accreditations, everything is placed so that you have good enough chances. There was a case basically when in Hyderabad students basically, they went to a university and then that university was fake, and then they were basically had to keep a gadget so that they can keep a track, because then no good university will be ready to take it. So don't take that risk. Just basically, going anyhow, sometime could be basically very risky. Avoid such risk. Be safe, because it's a long-term future career. It's not short-term. You're not going for 3 months or 6 months. You are going to go and work and settle in that particular country, or you are going to work and for many years, or you are going with a dream that you are going to study, get an international degree, and make a name for yourself. There's a lot of aspiration that you have, so use it wisely. The next few are basically you have a mistake in filling up the visa form. So if you are not going to fill the visa form properly, or you have provided wrong information, suppose you have been, if they ask you, have you been rejected to US, Canada visa form, and you have said no, then there is a chance that if they find out, there are chances that they can find out. Okay, though basically we say that it is not possible, but because of the biometrics and all those things, there are information that have been shared with the consulate. So if they know that you have been refused because of the wrong information provided, you may be decided to refuse. Okay. other informations where you're going to talk, put your bank statements or funds which are wrong. In UK, for example, there could be verifications, and if they would send an email to the bank, and if your bank doesn't respond to that email, they may reject you basically on that. So even if you have the funds, you have to also see that you have to tell the bank that you are applying for your visa. So that could be an email. It depends upon country to country, and so these things are very important. Your poor academics record, education gap, if you are not able to justify, it could lead to a rejection. You have worked illegally, in 20 hours per week allowed, you work 40 hours. If it is found, then you are basically either you will have to come back. If you have been arrested here, it affects your visa chance. If you are arrested there, that also is a problem. So see that basically, avoid all these things, uh, because it's your career. I know sometimes it's not available, but any major serious offenses could be a problem for visa. English proficiency, um, as I've mentioned it, if you're not going to give your English proficiency test, or if you're not good in communicating, you have to develop your communication if there's an interview, because they will look at your English language, and you are going to go to a foreign country and study in English. So if you're not able to communicate in English, then you would be refused visa. Your sponsor is from the same country, so you have going to US, and your sponsor is from US. So there are high chances of you getting visa rejection because a direct relationship is established. Student as dependent and is the main sponsor. So if you are basically if you are the main sponsor and you are going for studies abroad, who will take care of the dependents? So those are questions that could be asked. So you have to be having a good plan for that. Social media, when you're on the social media, see that you maintain a good reputable status. Don't go for any hate things and post any hate messages which doesn't reflect you good. And this sometimes basically when you're going to fill for US visa form, they ask you which are your social media links, and you have to give them all the Facebook link, Twitter link, Instagram link, and they are going to check that. So avoid any such post. Okay. Joining after the start date. If the program is starting on, let's say, 15th of September, and if you are going to apply late, sometime this pandemic situation is okay, but in normal situations, they may reject your visa, saying that you should have applied before. You should have planned things well in advance. Okay. Documents issue, when you are going to basically going for an interview, you're not carrying proper documents, or when you are going to submit your documents, you're not submitted proper documents. These all things can refuse your visa. So work on this accordingly. This is the first session that I am having. Remaining 2 sessions, one will be having on Saturday and the next is on Monday. Don't miss it, and thank you very much.